That was the scene as Ahmad Anderson desperately tried to rally the crowd Saturday night during homecoming. Welcome to Tell the Whole Damn World and our weekly football recap episode. It's Monday, October 6th, 2025. I loved seeing the whole Cal community come together last night for homecoming. And hey, even though we lost the football game, it's another great day to be a Bear. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Reza. This episode is brought to you by Alamo Notary Services, located in the heart of Danville. Alamo Notary Services is a family-run team that delivers fast, secure, and 24/7 mobile notarizations across the Bay Area, always with zero mobile fees within a 15-mile radius. Whether it's loan signings, estate documents, or everyday notary needs, Alamo Notary is there when you need them the most. Trusted since 1989. Learn more at alamonotary.com. And hey, I have good news for all you Cal fans. There's no way we lose next week. We're going to get right into our recap in just a minute, but let me quickly tell you a little bit about what we're all about. We're the podcast that celebrates all things Cal. We produce on-camera interviews with the prominent people associated with UC Berkeley, known to many as the center of the universe. And we share stories about the rich history and traditions of the University of California. We hope to put a smile on your face and help you come away feeling good about your connection to the greatest university on the planet. Please tell all your Cal friends about us. You can share us on social media, and please remember that if you missed any of our previous featured guest or Cal history episodes over the last several months, you can simply go to tellthewholedamnworld.com to view our entire episode library. We've interviewed some great guests, and we will be releasing a very special interview with Golden Bear legend Russell White next Monday. And before we get to the recap, I want to quickly say a few words about Bear territory. Can we please finally put to rest this ridiculous notion that yelling Bear territory before the end of a game somehow portends our demise? I understand that all of us Cal fans have had to endure a lot of difficult losses through the years, but the concept of that cheer bringing about doom is misguided and simply wrong. As Ahmad has repeatedly told us, it's a rallying cry. Long before there was whose house, our house, there was Bear territory. We should lean into it and embrace it because I think we can all agree it's the best damn cheer any team has ever had. And one last thing, I promise you'll want to hang around until the end of today's episode because I've got something special to share with you that I think you'll all enjoy. Let me now bring in two legendary Cal Hall of Famers, my co-host, Ahmad Anderson, the former Cal defensive back who created Bear territory, and the all-time leading tackler in Cal history, David Ortega. So, guys, that was a pretty sobering loss Saturday night.
Well, I was so happy it was homecoming, and I work on campus, and I just love seeing all the families, the parents, the grandparents, and siblings, and then all the alumni coming back to campus. Everybody being on campus was just great. It was great energy, and the people were very excited about the team and excited about the chancellor, excited about all of it. It was a great day to be a Bear, and it was awesome on campus Friday and Saturday and a little bit today on Sunday. But it's just you get reminded of the wonders of the university and why we do what we do and why we're a part of this community. And so to everybody who came, everybody, I hope you had a great time, reconnected with either your student or your family members, or you just rekindled with your fellow alumni and came to the game and had a great time. At the end of the day, we had a ball. My family and our friends, we had a great time. And with that said, the football game happened.
Yeah, I'd like to echo those sentiments as well. As one of the members of the board for the Cal Alumni Association, 600,000 strong, I want to say thank you to the staff, to the faculty, and to, of course, the students for making homecoming weekend and the week, if you will, the efforts to really welcome back the alumni, welcome back the families, and welcome the future alumni, the kids, the grandchildren, all the siblings who are now saying, I want to go there or can I transfer there? It is really a testimony to what Bear Territory is all about. Again, as I say, birthed out of the football team of '82, it is really the foundation and a celebration of what makes us the number one university in the world.
Absolutely. No, that was great. I mean, I had a great time going around to some of the different tailgates with you, Ahmad, and seeing what a celebrity you are and how everybody just wants a piece of you. And, Mr. Bear Territory, come here and all the photos. I mean, I don't know how you find the time to see so many different people, and everybody's always so happy to see you. I was thrilled to meet some of those people from the 1975 team that was being honored. I mean, wow, that was pretty awesome to see. And then that all brought back memories of Joe Roth, of course, and all of that. And when we interviewed Joe Starkey, right? Joe Starkey had been doing radio forever for the Cal Bears, and that was his very first year, 1975. So just really is amazing to think, and it was special to be able to honor that team because they were lights out fantastic in the day, right?
Yeah. We had a reunion for them 20 years ago, and I was helping to get all the alumni back, and Joe's mom came, and she had written a book, and I read that book, and it tore at my heartstrings the whole time while I was reading it. But it was just amazing that she went and basically chronicled the last year of Joe's life. So if anybody's chance, take a look, and it's a great book. It's Joe, His Fight for Life, and it's by Lena Roth, his mother, and it's a fantastic book.
Absolutely. No, it made me cry. That's for sure. I think I remember telling Ahmad in a previous episode how I was reading that book and up at the stadium back before, this is in the early 90s, so long before they renovated everything and they had offices there inside Memorial Stadium. And I was just a student and I was reading that, and I was supposed to interview one of the football players, happened to be Doug Bryan. And he comes around the corner, and I'm just weeping because of having read that book. But anyway, yeah, to get back to the game, like you said, Shark, I mean, homecoming is just so special to see everybody come back to campus. Attendance was 42,240, so our best attendance so far this season, going up and up, which is great to see. It looked pretty full. I got to say, I was just laughing. And I thought it was just a great way to start things where you saw Oski come out of the tunnel riding the bike, followed closely by the chancellor,
That was great.
pumping his fist and getting everybody all up. That's pretty cool, right? How much more can you say in terms of how much support we're getting from the broader university itself when you have the chancellor there riding around in the stadium with the bike? I thought that was just great. And then the game happened, and we got up 14-0. We looked lights out, fantastic. It was like, wow, just we're throwing the ball all over the field, and Jaren Kiave Sangapolotele was just flawless. I mean, just dropping these dimes all over the field. It looked like we were just slicing them up. And we're up 14-0. Things are looking good. They come back and score, so they respond, and it's 14-7. And then we go and get another touchdown. So we're up 21-7. And it's still early in the game. The second quarter happens. And man, that's the second quarter I think everybody's going to want to just forget because they reeled off so many points on us. It was just really demoralizing, to say the least. They ran off 24 points in that quarter alone to take a 31-21 lead at the half. Yeah, and we never were able to get past 21 points, unfortunately. By the time it was over, Duke had won 45-21, and they reeled off 38 unanswered points. So certainly not the best way to end a wonderful day with homecoming and all that. But you know what? I've thought about this a lot, and Duke is just a damn good team. I mean, they really are. They are gelling right now. I have no idea how they lost to Tulane and Illinois earlier this season because, they just look solid from top to bottom. They got a great running back on their team. Their quarterback is quite impressive. I mean, I think he leads the ACC in all kinds of different categories. And yeah, I mean, they just took it to us. It's like we punched them. We punched them as hard as we could, it seems, and then they punched back, and we weren't able to recover from that. So
Yeah, I think their quarterback was a really good player. He put the ball in some places where only their guy can make a play, or it was at least a 60-40 that their player could get the ball. But he did a good job of putting his receivers in good positions. I do want to say that we looked a little inconsistent this week. We looked so great in the beginning, and then as we got towards the middle and the end, I stayed the whole game, watched every play, and just watching how sometimes you can be a little inconsistent because you might not be right in sync with the people next to you and the person making the calls and all that. Those are growing pains. It's kind of what happens in college football now, where people aren't at certain universities for very long, and they're having to gel an offensive line together, which is really tough. And I think that's why they started to get a lot of pressure on us. We started to crack a little bit on the O-line, and they were in Jaron's face pretty quickly. And they had some good defensive players. So tip our hats to them, to Duke. Did a great job, did what you're supposed to do, and we didn't respond in the way that we can. And I think we're better than that, but I also want to make sure that our kids are still fighting. And they looked a little tired at the end and lost a little bit of their fight when they had that first touchdown in the fourth quarter. And then it was like, oh, and then we threw an interception. But that happens. But the only way you fight back from that is to band together and to really tough it out. You have to kind of get over the hump. You have to get that extra first down. You have to make that extra block down. If you're blocking down, then you go up to the next level. You got to make that block so that you can free your running back. Or, if it's a screen out on right on the line of scrimmage, but out at the wide receiver position, the other two guys have to block their hearts out in order for that receiver to get yardage like they're supposed to. And I think sometimes we just didn't aggressively do what we were supposed to do. And we didn't get any pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, I have to say that I agreed. First of all, the quarterback was 22 out of 30 or something like that. Very elusive, very aggressive in his capability, but Duke played that way. They fought back in a way that I wish we had. I'm used to playing a lot more aggressively from not only when I was a player of being on a team like that, but also from coaching. Me being there, me being where I've been, is it me being the coach or the player on the field today? I heard some of the comments that folks are saying about Wilcox's response, but the coach is coach, but players play. A tackle is a tackle. A block is a block. It's simple that. And everybody on that team should know the play. We practice to be ready to play. And there's that piece about really, maintaining the fight. I don't feel like there was a give up. I just feel like there was a wearing down. And that's a different piece. You can come back from the wearing down. You can't always come back from the giving up. And those are the pieces of the puzzle that which we have, but we have to put it together and be more in sync. Also say that what we've talked about previously, and I've said this to Reza just recently as we were walking up the hill, that there becomes a point in time where, and I said this last week, I get concerned about this time of the year around injury. I get concerned this time about the wear and tear of being the student athlete, um, and the wear and tear of the night game syndromes or the traveling syndrome. And then the fact that you want to have some synergy. And this is a new world where synergy does not come like it did in a bottle when you had student athletes that had been together with each other 3 years, 4 years consistently, and you know what's happening. There has to be this sort of psychosocial development that I am in a different land, in a different place, at a different team. And you have those thoughts. It's only human to do so. But I think that we're good. Duke was just better. absolutely better. And you go on to fight today. I mean, we don't have 7 losses, 6 losses. We've just got these. And we can continue to move forward. And I don't have much to say more about that, but this is the opportunity to go back to the drawing board, to reset, not even reboot, but reset and get prepared. The reboot is going back and doing what we've been doing. The reset is to really evaluate what we have and how we can get better.
To the team's credit, talking about kind of being worn down, after halftime, they came out and battled hard. I mean, we held them scoreless in the third quarter. It wasn't until the fourth quarter that I think really just kind of got worn down to the point where we gave up those 2 additional touchdowns to really make the score look really lopsided. But there was really no question that they were the better team that night in particular. And I have some stats to throw out to everybody, but Jaron Kiave, Sangapolotele, while he looked flawless there in that first quarter, he ended the game 20 of 31 for 245 yards, 1 touchdown to Jordan King, and 3 interceptions. The pressure really started to get to him. The line did break down, especially as the game grew longer. We gave up 6 sacks on the game. And that was a little surprising considering that the offensive line has really performed pretty admirably. It just, I think, comes down to them having athletes there who were winning at the point of attack and at the line of scrimmage. We were only able to gain 41 yards rushing and 286 yards of total offense in the game. And you compare that to Duke getting 178 yards rushing and 443 total yards in the game. Luke Farrelly had 1 sack, and Jaden Wayne, who stepped into the starting role at the edge rusher position, collected his first sack as a Golden Bear. But I think this was really a telling stat when I looked at the defensive stats. We had 5 tackles for loss in the game. Duke had 13 tackles for loss in the game. So that's really telling when you see that, okay, they are pretty much dominating that line of scrimmage. I have some overall kind of things to point out, just where we are in the season as a fan. And, I'm the kind of guy, of course, you guys know this, where I get very excited and optimistic about things. And hey, we start the season 3-0 and things are just looking fantastic, right? Looking at what this team might be able to accomplish. And San Diego State happens. It's like, wait, how the heck did we lose to San Diego State? And especially in the manner in which we did. And so that was really shocking, but we bounced back. And to show the resiliency of this team to beat Boston College on the road in a real tight, closely fought battle, which was great to see. So we enter the game 4-1 against Duke, but boy, Duke just really pummeled us, and we're now 4-2. And the bye really just couldn't come at a better point, because you both just alluded to the fact that we just need to regroup now at this point and really just try to figure things out, because it does feel like when you're winning, it can cover up a lot of things. And this game exposed us for a lot of things that we just have not been able to do well. We haven't been able to really generate a consistent ground game. We haven't been able to really generate much pressure on the quarterback. So those 2 things in particular have been really difficult. And it seems like, the better teams that we've played have kind of handled us along the line of scrimmage. And that's making it real difficult for linebackers and everyone else to make the tackles when you're making a tackle 5-6 yards past the line of scrimmage. So all of that is kind of, adding up to why I think we lost that game as badly as we did. But you know what? It's, again, hats off to Duke. They just were a great team. Anyway, we now have in front of us, I don't know if you guys have much of any thoughts on North Carolina after our bye week, but that's going to be a Friday night game on October 17th. So that sounds like going to be a fun one. Bill Belichick and his girlfriend coming to pay us a visit.
Well, what it really comes down to is getting back to basics. One of the things I said on the first podcast we did after the first game was that our guys are tackling and they're pushing them backwards. And that happened a couple times this last game. They made a couple really good stops. But in general, those running backs are having their way with our front 7. And they were running and then falling forward and getting extra yards every time. And that's something that you have to commit to. You have to commit to doing that as a defensive staff. Defensive players, you got to commit to stopping that ball carrier in the hole, but then driving him backwards. It's okay for them to get 4 or 5 yards on a run, but now 4 or 5 yards, it turns into 9, 10. And that happened a few times. And then the guy broke the one on the backside in the fourth quarter, which was a little demoralizing, but it was like, guys, we should at least cover that. And like I said before, there's more issues with continuity than ever before in college football. I'm not just saying us, it's everywhere. However, you can control what you can control, and that's your effort, and that's your technique, no matter what the score. I love that Aaron Hampton made like every tackle when he was in the last series. That kid loves to run around and make plays. I'm not sure he's doing everything right in practice or at the games, but at least he's giving me his effort. Effort is top notch, and he's trying to make things happen. So all I'm saying is, guys, we love our team. They're not perfect, but the one thing that we control is our effort and attitude. And I'm hoping that we go back to the fundamentals and kick in with 1 week off, getting the fundamentals and fight back in us, because they played well, but they just didn't play well enough last night.
Yeah, like you said, Reza, third quarter, the game is still there to be had.
Yeah.
And it's about really reaching deep. But I think it's about really reaching deep into identifying in your toolkit the appropriate tools to get the job done, mixing it up, making the adjustments, really looking at, like if we're having trouble on the D line, putting pressure, then step it up DBs, if you will. There were some times I was concerned about the not the type of coverage, but the finding themselves at a disadvantage. But I'm happy. I'm not worried about what's going to happen down the road. These are my Bears. I'm sticking with them, and not sticking with them just because I'm a Cal Bear. I'm sticking in with because I believe in the scheme. I believe that there are adjustments that are not just the physical, but the mental, and going back to some of the things they made to look at in the offseason, some of the leadership development that they went through, and look at yourself in the mirror and say, what can I do to ensure that not only I get better, that we get better as a team on both sides of the ball, in the skills area, but overall. And this is time for coaches to check themselves too, because it is a we us together. It's not just one and done. I did my job. It's got to be we did our job, and move forward from there.
I'm excited for the second half of the season.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
So yeah, lots of football left to be played, and hey, we can count on us always being there. So, and I'm glad to see that so many more Cal fans, are passionate out there and paying attention and showing up to the games, because that's what we need. We need a full house, and we need people to give a damn and to care. So that's what we're here to help make happen as well, to encourage you guys to get out there and support our California Golden Bears. So
I want to say thank you for Sid Marshall coming out, the alum of the year, and a very close friend of mine. We grew up together in the city of Richmond, and so to have her come back home to participate, that's a leadership in another way that you come out of that. Sent from city of Richmond, coming to Cal, going out into the world, being a real boss with the Dallas Mavericks, and then now retiring, and then being full throttle into being anywhere and everywhere she can for the university in a variety of capacities. And then having her go back out there and cheer, and then having my classmate, our chancellor now, Rich Lyons, out there doing his thing. I laugh every time because I'm like, yeah, that guy's the chancellor, but I know that guy from being on Sproul Hall and going by the fraternity house, and when we're undergrads. And then just having the opportunity to really thank the athletic department and the university for allowing me and asking me to kick off what they hope to be a tradition of a variety of other folks who are more well-renowned than I am, to kick off Bear Territory in a variety of different ways of leading cheers and being engaged with our student body and our families out there. I'll just say this out loud because it just has to be said. I want it to be real, real, real clear that Bear Territory is a rally cry. And I'm going to say this again, that people get it. It is not only about the football team as where it was born. It's about the students. It's about the staff. It's about the faculty. It's about the community in the Bay Area, and Berkeley is the center of the university and what it's all about. This, they hadn't done Bear Territory, to my knowledge, all night long. And here's the piece. Had nothing to do with why we won or when we were losing or winning the game. So to say we don't say it before the game, to say we don't say it unless we're winning, or we don't say it in somebody else's stadium, that's craziness. That's like bandwagon, oh, we only do it when we're winning. And then I'll just say this as well. I was told when I got ready to do the cheer, because the rally folks weren't really clear of what cheer I was doing. They said, I'm going to do Bear Territory. They go, one guy was like, it was almost like, blasphemy. We're not winning. You can't do that. I said, how do you tell the guy who created this that you yell my cheer, our cheer, and tell me I can't do it? And not only that, I played on a team here. To tell a former football player he can't do a cheer, or a basketball player, or a crew individual, you can't. You have no rights to that. So you need to understand, like everybody who says out there we can't do it, if you can't ride the bus from the time we leave the stadium to the time we return back home, or by the time the clock runs out to 0-0, get off the bus and stay out the stadium. This is for Bears only around this town. So that's where I'm at. I love my fans. Be down, and be down all day, all night, because this is Bear Territory all day, every day. Whether you win or whether you lose.
There we go. Well, hey, 2 Cal Hall of Famers say it. Nah, I'm not going to argue with them.
Yeah, well, you can. Put your hand on the line, baby.
Thank you guys so much. I'm with you 100% on that. And Shark, I guess we'll see you after the North Carolina game, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll see you after the game. I will be in my normal seats, and we'll be having fun. I've had nothing but fun this weekend, and I am tired, and I'm ready to go to bed.
Amen. Hey, and let's say this too. Happy birthday to your wife.
That's right. Happy birthday to Reza.
All right.
Yeah, she had a wonderful birthday, and my son's the day after. So fantastic.
All right. Very good.
Well, hey, I know I teased a little something at the top of the show for all of you to hang around. And so I'll tell you this idea that I had, and I floated around on Twitter about how to get the crowd into all of the night games that we play. And it goes something like this. As everyone settles into their seats before kickoff, all the lights that illuminate the field go dark. We can keep some dim lighting on around the stadium itself for safety's sake, but the field goes dark. And then a booming voice calls out over the PA. As all of you know, the university motto is Fiat Lux, which means let there be light. And with that, several drones suddenly come into view, hovering over the 50-yard line with blue and gold sparkling light. Everyone goes, ooh, ah. And then after hovering there for 15 seconds or so, they all scatter in different directions, zipping toward each bank of lights. And as they hit each light bank, the lights turn on, illuminating the field. Anyway, I think it would be pretty awesome and would help generate more buzz and excitement for the night games we play.
I love that they're doing the train song. I think that's kind of cool.
Yes.
But
yes.
I think that we should also make the anthem as the California by Tupac. I think that would be perfect. And at the third quarter, boom, get people dancing out of their seat.
There you go.
Well, you heard it first. I'll tell the whole damn world.
I've talked to some friends in the athletic department about this whole idea with the lights, and unfortunately, it's something we can't do just yet. Our current lighting system takes up to 30 minutes to warm up, but they are looking into getting new LED lighting, and when they do, I'd love to see this idea become a reality. And before we sign off, I want to thank Alamo Notary Services for sponsoring this episode. Alamo Notary Services has served the Bay Area since 1989 and proudly supports the Cal Alumni Network. From loan signings to estate planning notarizations, Alamo Notary Services is there 24/7 and always with zero mobile fees within a 15-mile radius. Visit alamonotary.com. And that's going to do it for this week's football recap episode. We look forward to spending time with you again next week when we welcome someone very special to the show, the all-time leading rusher in Cal history, Russell White. Thank you so much for tuning in. We sincerely appreciate all of you out there listening and watching. And remember, if you live in Richmond, please consider giving your vote to my co-host, Ahmad Anderson, to be the next mayor of Richmond. There's no question he would do amazing things for the city of pride and purpose. This podcast is entirely a labor of love and a reflection of how much we love our university. Please help grow this podcast by telling the whole damn world about us. Just tell all your Cal friends to go to tellthewholedamnworld.com. We celebrate all things Cal and the prominent people who are passionate about the University of California. Do you feel Cal is the center of the universe? Do you bleed blue and gold? We want you to tell the whole damn world about it. Go Bears!
Go Bears!
Go Bears.